Don't forget subscribe R.I.P Star News to get latest videos notification. Yuriko Kikuchi, who was a force in the Martha Graham constellation from the 1940s into the current century, passed away on March 8. Known simply as Yuriko, she could project innocence, serenity or a mystical quality on stage. Yuriko also starred on Broadway in The King and I and Flower Drum Song, later staging productions of the former. After choreographing many concerts on her own, she returned to the Graham fold to revive the early works and start a second company. An inspiration to generations of dancers, Yuriko contributed mightily to the Graham legacy. Born in San Jose, California, in 1920 as Yuriko Amamiya, she was only 3 when her mother, a midwife, sent her back to Japan. The influenza epidemic had claimed the lives of her father and 2 sisters, and her mother was desperately trying to keep her safe. Yuriko returned to California from age 6 to 9, and then went off again to Tokyo, where she studied with Kanami Ishii, a proponent of German expressionist dance. At age 10, she joined Ishii's touring group. At 17, she returned to California and studied modern and ballet with Dorothy Lindell in Los Angeles, while also working at a florist shop. Lindell knew of Yuriko's bare financial situation and invited her to live in her family's spare room. Yuriko toured with Lindell's junior group and began choreographing with Lindell's encouragement. Her talent attracted attention. She was invited to guest with the UCLA Dance Club, and in the summer of 1941, she played Rima, the bird woman of William Henry Hudson's play Green Mansions, with original music by Lou Harrison, with a dance group in San Francisco. Then, on December 7, 1941, Pearl Harbor was bombed and everything changed. Yuriko, her mother and stepfather along with 120,000 other Japanese Americans were herded into internment camps. Assigned to temporary housing that she described as basically horse stalls, Yuriko taught dance classes that were so popular she was voted the Queen of Tuller Assembly Center. After several months she and her parents were sent to the Gila River Relocation Center in Arizona. There too, Yuriko gave dance lessons. The camp administration sanded the floor, installed a piano in Lot 60, and paid her $19 a month, the same amount that a doctor received. Yuriko taught scores of children the dances of the Nutcracker Suite. I just didn't want to see the children go nuts. Besides, I didn't want to go nuts, too. She later reminisced about how uplifting her lessons were for the children. Yuriko left her seamstress position to sew for Graham. All the dancers had to do some sewing, but only Yuriko got paid. Yuriko made many of Graham's costumes, and in the fitting sessions she got to know the choreographer in a different, more comfortable way than the other dancers. According to Emiko Takunaga, Martha was charmed by things Japanese, and the young dancer was the embodiment of this fascination. Yuriko created roles in Appalachian Spring, 1944, Dark Meadow, 1946, Cave of the Heart, 1946, Night Journey, 1947, Clytemnestra, 1958, and Embattled Garden, 1958. She regarded Graham's process as collaborative. Graham would make suggestions, then the dancer would work on her own for a while, and Graham would tweak it. She would get you to come through clearly in the characters, Yuriko has said. Working on her role as Eve in Embattled Garden, 1958, she felt her own dancing was too smooth. So I said to Martha, I want to conquer awkwardness. And that is how Eve started. Not only did Yuriko contribute to the repertoire, but she also made an impact on the Graham technique. She understood the concept of spiraling around the back so well that, according to Takunaga, Graham credited her with introducing the concept of spiral into class. In the meantime, Yuriko was also making dances on her own. She gave her first solo concert at the 92nd Street Y in 1946. It was an evening of 10 solos, for which Isamu Noguchi designed some of her costumes. In his book Looking Back in Wonder, Diary of a Dance Critic, Walter Sorrell wrote that, when she went out on her own, something decidedly Eastern could get a hold of her, as in her solo In the Wind, which I thought was a masterpiece in a minor key, a work in which she proves her power of expression in 3 different sets of mood. The peak years of her choreographic output were between 1964 and 71, when she brought her company to the Y almost every year.